Okay, so we got our car image in here. We got our layer locked. In our layers menu here, we got that layer locked. We made a new layer. And we're ready to start drawing our car, primarily using the pen tool. P is the hotkey for the pen tool. Previous tutorial, we learned how to draw specific shapes and change those shapes. Now I'm going to draw my car. I like to start in the back and work my way towards the front. So let's go ahead and start towards the back as much as possible, and then work our way forward. I'm just going to do an overall general shape of the base of the car here. I'm going to work a little faster than I normally would, just so this video won't be too long. Usually I take my time and make everything as perfect as possible. I am just drawing the base of that car. Once again, my pen is set with a no fill and a very thin 1 pixel line setting on the stroke. Okay, so I'm clicking and dragging for my curves, clicking for straight lines, and trying to get the general shape of the car as a main starting point. Oh, I forgot to do the curve of this fender, so I'm going to undo that. Command Z, Command Z, Command Z will let me undo some of my shapes. So I'm going to come back here and keep working. Click, drag. Try to get the general shape of this base shape of the car. When I'm clicking my and dragging my curves here, I can usually accomplish that in just a few clicks. Okay, if I zoom in, I can see that this section here is a little off, this line here, so I can go back to my direct selection tool, or A on my keyboard, select that anchor and move that in. Well, if I wanted that not to be a corner but to be a curve, I can hold Shift C and drag out a curve for that shape. Good. Back to my pen tool, P. Now I can start a new shape. Once again, I want to try to work my way from the back to the front as much as possible. Now I think I'm going to do this fender shape back here, and there's going to be other shapes on top of that, so I don't have to be too perfect on this side, but this side I want to be pretty close. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to do this background wheel here. Actually, I can get this whole shadowy shape here. And I'm going to complete that shape by clicking on that first anchor. Now, as you see, my layers are already out of order. I accidentally made the base of the car when I should have made the shadowy area here first, since that is in the back. That's easy enough to fix. I can go over here to my layers window, and now if I click that triangle, I can see all my sub layers underneath. I can click that shadowy layer and slide it underneath the base. Okay, another way to do that, if I on my move tool, if I click this shape, I can also move it around by holding Command or Control right bracket will bring it up. Command or Control left bracket will bring it back. Command is on a Mac, Control is on a PC. So that's another way, shortcut for moving layers around. Okay, so I got 2 shapes. I'm ready to keep going. Go back to my pen tool. I'm going to do this fender shape over here. Overall fender shape. Now, some of these shapes aren't real specific on cars, especially if you have a more modern curvy car, but you can try to estimate it as best as possible. Okay. Now I'm going to do this grill shape here. Actually, before that, I'm going to do this light fixture here. Once again, I'm moving a little faster than I normally would just for the sake of time for this video. You can zoom in, Command plus, hold the Shift key down to move that image. And I'm going to do some more of these close-up details. Command Z to undo any issues. Command Z, Command Z. So I can drag out a shape of that light pretty good. And just gonna do one more shape within there. I could actually break this down into many shapes. Get a little light fixture in there. I'm gonna do this little light fixture here also. Click, click and drag, click, click and drag. So I can get a pretty good oval shape there. I can also use my ellipse tool if I want to draw that out that way. And get this little shape here. I think I'm gonna get this hood shape next. I'm gonna do that, Command Z, Command Z. I'm gonna bring it all the way over here. Hood shape all the way over here. And complete that here. Now I can do the grill. Even though I can't see it, I know it starts back here somewhere. I can do the dark section of the grill now. I could break that down even further to these couple shapes here. I'm just going to break it down to a couple shapes for my grill. Now I could come in, and I probably will come in eventually, and make each little stripe here of this grill, each little tiny section of the grill. Just going to do general shape for the hood ornament. Just for sake of time, I'll go pretty fast. Okay, I could break this grill down into several more shapes. Highlights, shadows. Shapes aren't only the shapes of the actual car, but shapes of shadows and highlights, and we'll come back and do that later. Alright, so I got the hood, I got the grill, I got this fender. Let me go ahead and get this light fixture. It overlaps the grill a little. I could create the base of that light fixture either with a pen tool, or I could come over here to my shape tool using the ellipse tool, and I could try to drag out a oval. Go to the move tool V if I need to, and move that into place. Could go back to that shape tool. Hotkey for that is L for that ellipse, and drag out another one. V, move tool, and then move that into place, and change the size or shape if I need to. I'm going to do one more. I can either draw another ellipse or duplicate this one by holding the Option key down, clicking on that ellipse, and duplicating it. Let go of the mouse, let go of the Option key, now I can resize that as needed. I can go to View, Outline, or Command or Control Y to see what I've drawn so far. Not too bad. Let me go back to my actual image view, preview. There we go. I'll draw a couple other. Let me do these other two shapes here. I have these ellipses I've already made, so I can hold my Option key, click and drag on one of those ellipses to duplicate that. Click and drag, Option click drag to duplicate that. Hold the corner down to resize it. So for some of these specific simple shapes, we can use our shape tool instead of the pen tool. Maybe I want to replace this one I made earlier. I can duplicate this ellipse, Option, click drag, let go of the keyboard, let go of the mouse. Do the same with this guy here. Option click drag. Command Z. Option click drag. I'm duplicating that ellipse because I don't like this old one I drew. I like this one better. And resize it as needed. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. I'm going to make the side panel here. Then I'll make the fender and the hood, or the top part. Back to my pen tool, P. And I know the side panel, I can bring it behind my fender since my fender is going to be on top. So I don't have to be too careful there. I can put it a little bit above this top section here. And bring it over here behind the grill. Behind my light fixture. Behind this fender. Behind this rocker. There we go. Well, it's in front of this light fixture, so let me move that shape back a little. So that shape selected. Here it is with my layers panel. I can click that and drag it back behind all my light fixtures. There we go. Now let me draw this front fender here. Get back to my pen tool P, and I'm going to draw this guy. Command Z. And zoom in, Command plus. I made a little mistake here, so I can go back to my direct selection tool and change that. Anchor. Get a cleaner curve there. There we go. I can readjust these, move these around if I need to. And readjust the curves as needed. Good. Zoom out. And I think I'm going to do this. Let me do the top here, then I'll come back and do the fender. Back to the pen tool, P. So do the overall shape of the top section. Good rule of thumb for clicking on the curves is you click at the pinnacle or top of that curve, very edge right here of the curve, then you can guide it along a little better. When I'm clicking and dragging, I should always click and drag in the direction I want my shape to go, or my pen line to go. And complete that shape. I'm going to come in here and draw this window in a couple layers. Quite often, depending on the car you see, you can always see shapes of the chairs and such in there. I don't really see too much of that, so I'll sort of make one up a little just so I can see how we can still draw stuff that's inside the car. I think this is a steering wheel here, sort of hard to see, but I could draw out a steering wheel shape. There we go. So this is stuff inside the car. There's the roof inside the car here. Now I'm going to draw the windshield. I'm going to draw the overall general shape of the windshield here. This is a starting point. There we go. I'm going to draw this window over here. Draw the smaller window within there. I'm going to going to draw this rear view mirror. Draw this back window. I could get in there and draw a few more shapes. I could draw this chrome shape. I'll probably come back and do that later. Let me draw this fender here. There we go. Close the shape. And looks like I have this rocker left to draw here. Bottom section here. Command Z. Could draw the individual door panel, but it's sort of part of this larger panel, so I'll just draw these lines on here later. Looks like I'm missing a little bit of the back light fixture here. Do a little back bumper here. Front bumper. These other parts of this bumper I can draw. Now, if all these guidelines that pop up when I use my pen tool, if that drives you crazy, I can always take off the smart guides here. So now you won't see all the jittery guidelines popping up. I can still draw pretty good, like that. Now for sake of time, I'm just going to do one shape for each of these. But you could, if you zoom in, you can see there's several shapes you could draw. I could draw the front and the side and a couple other shadows and highlights, but I'm just going to draw one shape for the sake of time. And this little license plate thingy here. There we go. So it's looking pretty good. About the only thing I'm missing now are the wheels. I guess I should have drawn the wheels earlier. I have to draw the wheel well and the wheels, so I'll have to draw those and then put them back into position in the different layers. So let me draw this back wheel well area here. You can also see the back wheel sort of connected to that shadowy area. I'll connect it to this wheel well also. So there's sort of a darker shadowy area here. I'm just going to complete the shape. I don't have to worry about it too much here because it's going to be behind everything else. So there you go. I finished that shape. Once again, it's at the top, so I need to send it back. I guess behind everything else, back behind all my other layers. I could always click on my layer and drag it down. I can always hit Command left bracket to move it down one spot at a time, or I can hold Shift Command left bracket or Shift Control left bracket for PC. Shift Command left bracket. That'll bring that shape all the way down to the bottom of that layer. Shift Command left bracket brings items to the bottom layer. Shift Command right bracket will bring it all the way up to the top. Okay, now all I have left to draw are my wheels. I can do that either with my pen tool or an ellipse tool. So I'll drag out a wheel, go to my move tool V to move it to better position that, and I can resize it if I need to. Pretty good. I could duplicate that wheel, option, click drag, option, click drag, let go of the option, and then let go of the mouse. I can position this one over here, resize it using the move tool or selection tool. There we go. Needs to be a little bit bigger. I want to duplicate it so I can get these other parts in here. Hold the shift key down, I'm sorry, the option key down, click and drag, let go of the mouse, let go of the option key. that a little smaller. I can drag it back in here. Once again, I'll do that option, click drag, resize. Option, click drag. Resize. And one more time, option, clicking on the actual circle, drag, resize one more time. Do a couple more, I guess, but I'll just do that one for now. And delete that. Now I have all my shapes for my wheel drawn out. I can hold this, click on one, and hold the Shift key down, select those other shapes, other parts of that wheel. I can option, click and drag them all out here. Resize them so they fit this back wheel. There we go, pretty good. So that should pretty much be my completed drawing of my car. Let me double check the outline view. Looks pretty good, a good start. Preview, zoom out. Now I just want to move all these lines. I can click and drag over everything. Click in the empty space, drag over everything. Now click on one of these lines and drag it over here and let go. And there it is, my completed base drawing for my car. Make sure you save that, and then we'll come back and do some more.